The human brain produces 70,000 of them every day, but it takes just one to make a difference. One impression, one concept, one product, one service, one idea. The majority of entrepreneurs are motivated by their own ideas. That may account for why nearly 500,000 patent applications are filed each year. That's almost 2,000 per business day. Abraham Lincoln was the only U.S. president to hold a patent. He invented a device to lift boats off sandbars, a real help if you're left high and dry. Benjamin Franklin was also full of some pretty helpful ideas. The lightning rod, bifocals, carriage odometer, and don't forget swim fins. Thomas Edison tried more than 1,000 ideas before his light came on. Brigham Young, he had good ideas. The Perpetual Immigration Fund, 360 towns and cities, ZCMI, and some pretty cool schools. Many students also have good ideas, especially at BYU. How do good ideas get started? Who helps students think through their ideas? What does it take to get an idea off the ground? Where do they find mentors? One of BYU's best ideas, the Kevin and Deborah Rollins Center for Entrepreneurship and Technology. Why is it such a good idea? Because more than 4,200 BYU students take entrepreneurship courses each year to explore their ideas. Because last year the center helped 61% of BYU undergraduate entrepreneurship majors launch businesses. Because being stone cold sober isn't the only accolade BYU received from the Princeton Review, we also ranked number 4 in both graduate and undergraduate entrepreneurship. We invite you to take a look inside the Rollins Center and see how entrepreneurship is helping turn ideas into opportunities.
Good morning. My name is Dallin Allred, and I am a student entrepreneur here at BYU. And this morning I'm going to be your guide as we take a small look inside of the Rollins Center for Entrepreneurship and Technology. Now, the Rollins Center is a program we have. It's located in the business building that helps students of all majors to create new ideas for new companies, develop and refine those ideas, and then eventually launch those ideas into companies that will create jobs for our communities, as well as reflect positively back onto our university. A couple years ago, I had an idea myself, and this came as I was traveling in New York City and realized there needed to be a way for people to buy tickets last minute in a way that was safe, affordable, and convenient. And this happened because we're not so prepared when we went to go buy our Broadway tickets, and ended up buying them last minute through a local ticket broker. And we met him in this dark alleyway, and he was there, and he had a trench coat and bad breath, and it was not a pleasant experience. And so in 2008, after I returned home from my mission in the India-Bangalore mission, I recruited some people that I had met there to help code a website and a roommate to help answer the phone, and we launched Stubtopia.com. And Stubtopia does those 3 things. It helps last-minute ticket buyers, because I procrastinate, and so do a lot of other people, apparently, buy tickets last minute that are safe, secure, and affordable. And this is just one of many ideas that the Rollins Center has helped to perpetuate that have come from other BYU students. Now, we get a lot of fantastic academic experience as we start out, and one of the ways that we get that experience is through our professors. We have a lot of great professors at BYU, and one of them is Nathan Furr. He's a professor of entrepreneurship that helps to mentor and coach students with their new ideas. And we have a short video clip highlighting some of his contributions to the Center for Entrepreneurship.
I believe we're on the cusp of a paradigm shift in entrepreneurship. And for the first time, we're developing our own management science of entrepreneurship. We've done some incredibly unique things here. We've changed our curriculum, we have mentoring, and we have competitions that provide students access to this new way of thinking that's not available at any other university. What's different at BYU is, for the first time, students are getting exposure to the kind of curriculum that will help them reduce their risk, discover if they have a real opportunity. And if they find a real opportunity, sure, go launch a business. But if not, most likely, they're going to take those skills, roll into a corporation, roll into an established business where they'll be incredibly valuable players. When students come to me with the ideas, they always ask me, is this a good idea? And I say, there's no way I could give you that answer. The answer to whether you have a good idea or not is in the market. When you talk to customers, you will find out right away that some of your guesses were wrong, but what you also find out is what they really want. We could not do what we've done without the Rollins Center for Entrepreneurship and Technology. I mean, it's absolutely critical. We've moved from being essentially unranked to being 18th in the nation to number 4 in the nation. And I see no reason why we can't be the very best. BYU should be the very best in the nation. The things I most want my students to take away are to see the world in a new way and recognize every problem as an opportunity. That they can be creative and innovative in solving the problems around them and creating value in the world. We've got curriculum, we've got faculty, we've got the center that are all aligned to help that happen in a way that I've never seen at another university before.
Now, when we launched Stubtopia, it was myself and a roommate answering the phones in our shared bedroom apartment south of campus, and that's where we ran business for about the first year and a half. And it was just a blast. I mean, it sounds funny, but business is what keeps me up at night, and it's what I'm passionate about. And so even though the phone would start ringing at 6 in the morning, we have clients on the East Coast that would wake up early, and they would stop ringing at 11 o'clock at night. We have clients on the West Coast that would go to bed late. It was just the most fun I've ever had. About 7 months ago, I got married, and I think the phones ringing were one of the reasons why my wife very kindly decided for me that it was time to move Stubtopia into its own office. And so we do have an office. We're on Main Street in Spanish Fork, where myself and 5 other employees continue to work to help Stubtopia to grow. And we have enjoyed a little early initial success. We have revenues of a little under $4 million per year, and a few months ago, we won the top student-run business in the state of Utah from the Utah Student 25. And incidentally, 15 of those top 25 companies in Utah came from BYU. So that was pretty cool, I thought. But as we were starting, I had a ton of questions. We might be having some success now, but I didn't know anything we were getting going. And that's why I was grateful for the Rollins Center. They provided a way for BYU students like me to gain access to practical business leaders and other entrepreneurs who were willing to take their time to mentor students and help them write business plans, refine business plans, and then execute on those ideas. One of the mentors that I've had the pleasure of working with and getting to know over the last few years is Craig Earnshaw. He is a local software entrepreneur and BYU alumni, and I'd like to let him share for a few minutes about why he chooses to mentor students here at BYU.
I wanted to renew my association with BYU, and I had the opportunity to speak to the Student Entrepreneur Lecture Series. When I walked into the room and I felt the electricity in those 100 students that were there, I felt something really special, and I wanted to get involved. And I went to the Center for Entrepreneurship and I said, you know, what can I do? So one of the things I did was to get back into mentoring here at BYU. We have a website, getmentoring.com. The students come onto that site and see that I'm available. They'll sign up for 20-minute slots. So obviously I can't learn everything about their business in the short time that we have, but they can tell me where they are. They can tell me what their big burning question of the moment is, and we try to advance them one step. I hope that each time when they leave that we've accomplished that and that they can go to work on something that we've talked about. I can recognize an entrepreneur in the first 30 seconds. When they sit down and start talking about their idea and a smile begins to form on my face, it's because I'm talking to a real entrepreneur. You can feel it. You can feel their passion. You can feel their commitment to an idea. Why do we teach entrepreneurship? Because those who are going to be entrepreneurs need the skills that we teach. At the Rollins Center, we have a committed group of founders. These are BYU alums, for the most part, who have a strong desire to give back to the campus. So through our mentoring program, through our conferences, and through our student competitions, founders can come back to campus and be involved in students' lives through their businesses. Why am I here? Selfishly. We get to meet with the best minds on campus, and we get to experience the thrill of starting a business all over again. And guess what? We don't have to do all the work this time.
And Craig is such a great guy. It's so fun to go and sit down and have one of his mentoring sessions with him. I feel a lot of times like it's almost like I'm sitting down with my mission president. It's that kind of bond. But there are some other programs at BYU that also help students refine and shape their ideas. And one of them are the plethora of competitions we have here that help students receive feedback from entrepreneurs and investors and continue to tweak their ideas previous to their launching or even a few months after they have already started their company. We have the idea pitch, the elevator pitch, the business plan competition, and this year at BYU, we actually had the very first business model competition, an international contest that was hosted here at BYU's campus. Now, BYU students did quite well. In fact, we have two of the finalists from the business model competition here to give a very abbreviated pitch that talks a little bit about their new business ideas. We have Michael Zaro, a Latin American studies major, and he'll be giving a 2-minute idea pitch on his company, Meal Drop. He'll be followed by Brad Cahoon, who will be pitching his company, Collude.
There are literally hundreds of thousands of restaurants across the United States that serve all different types of food from dozens of different countries. Now, all those unique abilities are great, but their main thing that they do is make food. They have different struggles just like any other business. If they were just a big kitchen, that would be great and they could continue serving their communities. But they have to be able to market. They have to be able to bring people into their businesses so they can continue to serve them. From there, they also have to deal with technology. They have to figure out how to do online ordering and to be able to streamline their process to be able to serve the most people. Now, restaurants are great at making food, but these are not their strong points, marketing and technology. And these problems lead to a lack in revenue. And if that goes on too long, that means that these restaurants are not going to be able to continue to serve the communities where they're at. Now, consumers, on the other hand, have a different problem. Our young generation suffers from an overindulgence in convenience. We're used to one-click ordering, we're used to streaming media and getting everything we want within 2 seconds. Now that doesn't happen in a restaurant. You got to wait in line and you have to walk over there. It's a difficult problem and restaurants have yet to catch up. That's where Meal Drop comes in. Meal Drop aggregates all the local restaurants, brings all the restaurants in the area into one convenient place. So that way, professionals, students, and community members can all go through and order their food and have it either delivered or go to pick it up. Now, let's go through an example real quick here. First thing someone would do is go to the site. They would then pick where they would like their food to be delivered. Select their restaurant and time, and then go through and pick just exactly what they want. This experience mimics the storefront experience exactly. So they can even customize it with extra mustard and double pickles if they would like. They go through, put their credit card information in, so they're able to purchase it in advance so that their order is essentially finished. They don't have to wait in front of everybody else. They're always first in line here. Now, let's do a little more personal example. Let's say our beloved President Samuelson was getting hungry. We've been at this meeting a little while now. First thing he would do is go to Meal Drop. Be able to go through our site, browse all the different options that he has for on and off campus restaurants in the area. Now from here, let's say he loves the Subway down at the Cougar Eat on BYU campus. He'll pick that, select just exactly how he wants it, and have it delivered to him. Or if he feels like mingling with some of the students that day, he has a little extra time, he'll come down and pick it up in the Cougar Eat. Now this process can take as little as 20 to 30 seconds, and we see people use it every day. As soon as people try this, it becomes part of their habit. It becomes that immediate convenience that they're looking for, and it supports the local restaurants in their area. We've been able to launch at the beginning of fall semester. We're expanding to another campus right now and growing quickly, and we could never have done that without the Rollins Center. We'd like to thank them for their assistance and mentoring.
All right, Collude is a social platform that instantly connects merchants to consumers. So let's see how that works. So Collude goes to a merchant and gets access to deals that they've ran in the past, whether it's through a daily deal site like Groupon or just some print ads. And so we actually get a lot of deals from a lot of different merchants. So Collude now has a big database of deals to choose from, right? Well, what do we do with that? Well, we broadcast that deal, or those deals, that database, to consumers, where consumers can go on and rate deals that they're interested in. Now, when they're rating a deal high, they're saying, tell me as soon as this deal goes live. And so what we do at Collude is we gather that data from the consumers through their interaction on our site, and we provide it back to the merchant so that as soon as the merchant is satisfied with the demand for any one of their products, they can release a specific discount to a specific person who has already express interest in that product. They do that through Collude, and Collude would then send out a text message or email notification to that consumer where they can go and pick up that item. Now, Collude works with a number of large retailers. Best Buy is one of our beta customers. We also work with small local retailers like Sub-Zero. And here's an example of how to work with the Utah Jazz. Hopefully, right? So let's say the Jazz have leftover tickets for a game that starts in 3 hours. They can either keep their prices high and sell us tickets, or they can discount and attract more fans to the game. What do? Well, luckily for the Jazz, they've used Collude, and consumers can go on the website and see this deal, 50% off lower bowl tickets. I love that deal. I click 5 stars. Now, what the Utah Jazz can do with that information is they go to their company dashboard, and they can see, okay, 5,000 people have rated this deal. I want to send it out to anybody who is ranked at 4 or 5 stars that live within 100 miles of the arena and that are between the ages of 18 and 35. They release that discount, and lo and behold, I get this text message, or whoever gets that text message saying, hey, lower bowl tickets for tonight's Jazz game are 60% off. Reply yes, and we'll reserve your tickets. Oh, and by the way, 253 people just received this text, and there's only 50 available. We're really excited about the progress we've made, and there's not a chance that we'd be where we're at without the Rollins Center.
Those are some pretty cool ideas. And both Michael and Brad are also finalists that will be pitching next month in the business plan competition, where they'll have the chance to win a little startup capital for their companies that will continue to help them to grow. Just one more of those benefits that comes from the Rollins Center. And now, as I've studied at BYU and as I've launched a new company, I've learned a lot of things. But one of the most important lessons I've learned is how important it is to be a finisher. And that's why, even though Steptopia is enjoying a little early success, I'm dedicated to finishing my major, to finishing my, my undergraduate studies. I've got 3 semesters left before I get my degree in American Studies. And really excited about that. And I just want to say thank you all for the help and the support that you give to make this university possible. Thank you to Kevin and Deborah Rollins for their support in creating the Rollins Center. And to close up, we have just one last clip that highlights a few of the companies that can trace their roots back to BYU and a student that was studying here and had a bright idea.
BYU is not just a quarterback factory, producing the likes of Gifford Nielsen, Mark Wilson, Steve Young, Jim McMahon, and Ty Detmer. BYU is also an idea factory. At the Rollins Center, ideas are vetted, tested, and fashioned into opportunities. Nearly 250 successful entrepreneurs volunteer their time to help students shape ideas. Students from every college on campus are using the Rollins Center to turn their impressions and concepts into reality. In fact, thousands of students have gone on to create some amazing enterprises. 1-800-CONTACTS was an opportunity started at BYU, as was Omniture, Property Solutions, Allegiance, and hundreds more. All of these opportunities began as ideas. Helping them succeed is a brilliant idea. Turning their dreams into opportunities, definitely one of our brightest ideas. The Rollins Center for Entrepreneurship and Technology, a light to the world.